'Tis the season. We're going to be looking at the 5 greatest Christmas comedy movies of all time. I watched over 30 movies in preparation for this video, but these 5 came out on top. And no, this isn't going to be a list of all the same movies you see on every other list, because we've got 1 or 2 you've likely never seen before. Along the way, you're going to learn facts about some of these films that are so insane they don't even feel real. Coming in at number 5, we've got The Night Before. Everything about this movie screams late 2000s, early 2010s comedy that we all came to love, as it's written by the same writer as Superbad, Pineapple Express, This Is the End, and Sausage Party, while being loaded with familiar faces like Seth Rogen, James Franco, Mindy Kaling, and Joseph Gordon-Levitt. I absolutely love the unique theme of this movie and growing up and how the holidays change. When you're a kid, everything feels super magical. You get a break from school, you see all of your family, everyone's in a great mood, you get a ton of presents. But as you age, you're no longer in school, you see your family less. The people you grew up with, they make their own families and take on responsibilities. The presents fade, and so does the magic. That's what the main character, played by Joseph Gordon-Levitt, is particularly struggling with, and it's something that in my personal life I'm struggling with as well. It really gives for a unique angle on the Christmas movie genre. Next up, we've got an all-time classic in Christmas Vacation. But did you know that the director of Home Alone, Chris Columbus, was supposed to get his big break with this film? He was even attached as the director, but he walked away because he said Chevy Chase was impossible to work with. Which I find this to be particularly ironic because Clark Griswold, the character that Chevy Chase plays in this movie, is particularly wholesome, and his one mission throughout the whole movie is to ensure that his family has the perfect Christmas. But something particularly crazy happened on set, even adding to the irony. In the iconic scene when Clark Griswold has his meltdown on the front lawn and punches the Santa statue, he actually broke his pinky. But the crew didn't notice, so they kept on filming and he improv the rest of the scene. And I don't know if you've ever broken a finger before, but I actually broke a couple my freshman year of high school, and boy does that hurt like hell. So I have no idea how Chase kept on going, which really begs the question of what did Chase say or do that really turned Columbus off? Because that level of dedication, I can say as a director myself, that's something that is really a dream scenario for a director. Coming in at number 3, we've got Love Actually. And I particularly love American Pie for its never-ending slew of main characters, but Love Actually completely blows American Pie out of the water in this category, as this film features nearly 20 main characters. And that's not an exaggeration. This is also my favorite Hugh Grant comedy of all time. As far as movies go, I would probably say that Heretic is actually my favorite all-time Hugh Grant movie. I absolutely love the positivity, warmth, and theme of love that this movie embodies. And one of the opening lines of the film really chilled my bones to the point that it's been months since I last watched this movie, yet I still think about this quote almost every day.
When the planes hit the Twin Towers, as far as I know, none of the phone calls from the people on board were messages of hate or revenge. They were all messages of love. If you look for it, I've got a sneaky feeling you'll find that love actually is all around.
But if you're looking for more laughs and less warmth, then look no further, because we've got 4 Christmases coming in at number 2. I've actually already watched this movie twice this holiday season, once about a month ago and once just last week at Thanksgiving with a couple of my aunts and uncles, and boy were we laughing. That should come as no surprise, as it stars my all-time favorite actor in Vince Vaughn, one of my favorite all-time actresses in Reese Witherspoon, with supporting performances by Robert Duvall, Jon Favreau, and Jon Voight, all while being written by the Hangover writers Scott Moore and John Lucas. Bringing in all that talent couldn't have been cheap, and it wasn't. Get ready to have your mind blown, because the production budget for 4 Christmases came in at $80 million. To put in perspective how crazy that actually is, when you adjust for inflation, 4 Christmases was more expensive to make than modern blockbusters that include Oppenheimer, Sinners, Sonic the Hedgehog, and the Ghostbusters reboot. But if 4 Christmases is up your alley, then you're going to want to check out all my other comedy movie recommendations with my weekly comedy movie recommendation, and you'll also get a free copy of my directorial debut when you sign up for my email list, which I'll include in the pinned comments and in the description down below. But coming in at number 1, and I'll give you a hint, it's the only Christmas movie poster that made it to my wall. That's of course Bad Santa, one of the funniest all-around movies ever made, and one of the greatest greatest comedic mismatch dynamics I've ever seen when you combine Billy Bob Thornton and Brett Kelly, who plays Thurman Merman.
King me.
Son of a bitch! You lousy, cheating little shit! You're f***ing with me. You did that on purpose.
Wanna play again?
But I bet you didn't know that the Coen brothers were the brains behind the story of this film. That's right, the guys who made The Big Lebowski, Fargo, and No Country for Old Men were the ones who originated the concept for this movie. But I bet you also didn't know that Billy Bob Thornton took method acting to the extreme with this movie, as he showed up drunk to set for several of the key scenes. I didn't even know this was legal, but it made for quite the authentic performance. If these are the kinds of comedies you love, then you're not going to want to miss the Ultimate Comedy Movie Bracket Showdown, where you decided between 16 of the greatest comedy movies of all time to crown one winner. You can check that out here.